Now, I'm making this video truly and intentionally. My kids are outside playing, so if you see me kind of like pause the video and go run after them because they're playing outside, but I'm making this video to inspire myself and remind myself that you're always manifesting, and you can always just open up the doors of positivity, really attract and make a higher vibrancy and frequency for yourself. And that's what I'm here to share to myself, but also to you guys, feeling the same way. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I don't have my days. I'm human, okay? We all are. But I try to get away from the ego part of things and really focus on what's good, see the magic all around me in life. Like I said, life is magic to me. And just seeing how to work with what I have, be grateful and thankful always. That's a big thing. You hear it all the time, I'm sure, from multiple health coaches and multiple people who do motivational speeches and things. But it's so true, okay? So focus, whatever you focus on grows. And just obviously, if you're focusing on positive, even when things aren't going your way or things started off for me, is when I don't know, I was looking for something different. I kind of was just inspired to finally go for it, move out. I was 21 or 22 at the time, and I was looking for an apartment. So it was my first apartment. I didn't really know where to go. I had people that were supportive of me, but I didn't really have anyone go with me. I kind of just did it by myself. So I was looking around, and I looked at quite a few places, but I always had this mindset okay, I will find something. I'm looking for this place. I would always tell myself I wanted this Mariah Carey bathroom, and it was a little more possible because I had a good steady boyfriend too, that if things got crazy on my own, he moved in, and he did eventually move in with me too. But it was also something that I knew I could take care of if I didn't have that option. So here I am reading through magazines, I'm asking for advice, I'm looking to family members who have already done it, things on their own and things like that. And I just got a lot of, great advice, of course. And, but I was still searching, and I had a few, silly spots, I had this one place that had, dead mice in there, and the person was yeah, go ahead. You can come check out the apartments. It's unlocked. Come anytime. Just tell me when you're coming, I guess, or I don't know. And then it's unlocked. Just go check it out. And that was kind of bizarre because I had talked to other people, and I was I called a friend. I mean, I didn't have anyone go with me, and I probably should have, but luckily nothing crazy happened. And I just remember being is this is somebody supposed to just leave an apartment unlocked so you can go in and check it out on your own? What? And it was just I said, so bizarre. It was a little I could have made it work if I wanted to. Oh, a bee. Oh, a honeybee. I could have made it work if I wanted to, but you guys probably saw that bee fly in there. I feel like they're messengers, I swear, especially, always with me. It's in a newspaper maybe, or online, or in, whatever. And I finally found an ad, and it was in a, certain place that I had never considered before, but I went for it anyway. And it was really a good thing because the place was beautiful. I mean, I would have never expected, and it was kind of weird because it was okay, it was right above a business. How is this going to be? But it was really cool, and I looked at with the best landlord ever, because I did get the apartment. When I first looked at it, it had the previous owner was into plants, and I was very drawn to that, and I was oh, perfect. I can do the plant thing, have plants here. That's great to know, because I really wanted nice windows and stuff for that too, to have a nice plant for air, plant area. And the bathroom was huge. I mean, there was a clawfoot tub, and then there was a stand-up shower. There was a nice little vanity mirror, which I love for bathrooms. So it had that scene, and then the mirror opened up, and you could put stuff inside the cabinets. So I always wanted that. I always thought that was so cool, and this apartment had that. It was upstairs, so that was kind of funky, but I didn't care. I loved it. I thought it was really, really great. It was my first apartment, so a lot of people wanted experience. They wanted backgrounds and stuff like this, but he was really cool. I talked to him, and I was listen, I've been stable. I've been working at this job for 5 years or whatnot. And I just really went the distance and kind of talked to them and brought it about. and he was so cool and such a nice landlord. So he was accepting, and he gave me the chance, and he said, you have a good head on your shoulders. He actually knew my cousin, so that was like a really win-win, such a small world kind of thing. But we just got into it, and I was like, yeah, my cousin knows this guy that worked for him at his business, and then it just all worked out perfect. He's like, oh, hey, I know her, perfect, I'll hook you up with the deal, like, you can totally move here, I love your family. So that was so cool, and it worked out perfect. Like I said, it had the perfect bathroom that I was looking for, and more. I never considered a clawfoot, but a bathtub big enough to soak in was nice. And then, like I said, it was just a big bathroom. The bedroom was nice, and it had like a little section for a closet where it wasn't like walk-in, but it was like a mini walk-in type of situation. It had its own like little hallway, and I liked that. It was cool because it was like, okay, bedroom, and then that crap can be all over in one side or whatnot. What else about it? The kitchen was cool. It had a dishwasher. He kept it so immaculate nice. So I was just so blessed and thankful for that. It had super high ceilings. It had like the 12-foot ceiling, really like modernized new lights. And it was everything that I like considered, when I was like looking for apartments, and it was all that in one package. Electric stove, which was different, but I ended up being fine with that. Hardwood floors, which was really cool. So just like little things that I just collectively like really wanted, and people would look at me and be like, okay, you're kind of being bougie or something about it. And it wasn't a matter of being bougie, it just was a matter of finding that and being able to attain it eventually. Anyway, so chasing these kids around, like I said, we're outside, whatever. So, back in those times, I had like a nice like little living room space. Like it was like the kitchen, little hallway coming out, and then it had like a living room space right outside of the bedroom. It had like a little office area, and it was on like a main street, which was such a town made for me. It was so cool, because this place had like a little mini town grocery store down the road, just literally one block down. It had an art gallery, museum, not a museum. Actually, there was like, I think, a little museum-ish sort of thing there. There was a mosaic making place. And like I said, there was an art gallery and stuff. So it was like it wasn't like a super hipster area, but it was a very like hip kind of cultural artsy place to be. And that was something that I was already like. So I was like, wow, I really love this. Like, this is a cute little area. There was like a secondhand thrift store right next door to the other business that I lived above. There was, let's see, it was like a breakfast eating place. Sorry, I'm out with traffic, so you'll hear it going by. And it was nice. And then like up the road, like it was so diverse in such a small area. It was like so perfect. And it was like, it ended up being like 20-minute drive to work instead of 25. So it was like a slight difference there. Little Mexican place up the way. Like I was saying, there was a laundromat across the street. I mean, it was like perfect. Let's see, there was like a historical place you could walk to. There was like a fairground you could like bike to. Right behind the place that I stayed, it was like a national park. So there was like a pond you could fish, and rapids and things like that in the backyard. So that was so cool. So yeah, it was cool. And then the neighbors were chill. Oh, and shoot, there was a liquor store. So I mean, I'm not a total alkie, but there was a liquor store, right like behind my apartment going down. So it just had like literally everything. And there was even like a hair salon. I never went there, but a hair salon. There was another little restaurant type of thing. Like there was just multiple places of food. Gas station. There was like a Stewart's, and then what the heck you call it, Cumberland Farms or something like that. Like it had like literally everything in this spot. So it was so cool. And it was perfect. And then he ended up working out Anyway, so I don't want to make this a super long video. Just manifesting the apartment. And then how did I do it? So when I, was in the mindset of like trying to manifest my apartment, what I did was I would buy things for my apartment. So literally, like, I read about it years later, how to, get into a new place or whatever. And this is like now research that I'm doing, but looking back, I already was doing this with that place, and then that's when it kind of all came about. And, I was out there, like I said, like getting like toiletry things and getting like little, home decor things and getting ready to just in the mindset of like, okay, I'll move. I was like packing boxes and things, really, really getting inspired. And then it was like coming about, and I just like kept collecting, and I was like, I know I'm gonna move, I know I'm moving out, I know this is gonna be a situation like this, it is time. And sure enough, it was time, it became time. And I eventually, moved there. So that was really, really cool. And that's why I'm like inspired, and I know that you guys can do it, okay? I know that we all can manifest. Our minds are that strong. I've seen it work for simple things. I've seen it work for big things like that. So this is in regards to, how I manifested my first apartment. And I had a really like positive state of mind. I was inspired because I just wanted something different. I wanted to make a change. I wanted to be like, okay, if I'm standing on my own 2 feet, how does that motivate me? You know what I'm saying? And that will spark a change in you automatically. Sometimes, you gotta do what they say, let go. I decluttered. I didn't know that was part of the process at first. I decluttered things from my life that I didn't need. I decluttered things that were like, what? Becoming a young adult wise, and just like growth wise. The birds agreeing with me. Growth wise, it just inspired me, you know what I mean? And luckily I had some support. I had some, naysayers, I'm not gonna say who. I had some people who were like, are you sure? Oh, it's tough. And it is. I mean, we all gotta go through it, right? And these people, like, some of them are on their own, so you're like, okay, I get you're doing it and you're having a struggle. We're all gonna be struggling. You went through it. I know they're trying to save some heartaches, but we all have to do these things to grow, right? So it was just a beautiful thing. So I decluttered some things from my life, had a decluttering period of like even people from my life. It was like, no, in order to grow and go forward, I let go of a lot of things. I let go, and I had faith in whatever, I just was like, I'm going to make this work somehow. And I did, and it was stressful. There were times where we were stressed out or whatever, but we always had enough to do what we needed to do, to keep the house right, to have groceries and stuff, and then visiting, like to have dinners with family and things like this, so loving support and stuff in that sense too. And so if you got the right things to back up, even if you don't, just know that there's something out there backing you up, okay? Just let it be known. Be grateful, thankful, like I said, every time for what you have, and you will see how things are just beautifully fall into place. Out too. But anyways, that was for how I manifested my first apartment. Sorry if it's like all over the place. I just wanted to do that video because like I said, I've just always wanted to talk about it. I see it on YouTube a lot, and I'm inspiring myself for another current situation now that I don't really want to 100% get into on here, but it will eventually be on here, like not like what I'm doing, but the outcome, like what comes of it, and newer things in life that's being manifested, things like that. So it's a really beautiful, exciting time period, but I just wanted to, like I said, inspire myself looking back as like a little yearbook, like a virtual year, in reflection guide. And we're going to watch this back and see if we can get into some more things to add to it maybe. So if not, brace us and bubbles.